Hey y'all, this is Whitney, and welcome back to another episode of Spastic Chatter. Today I have Julia with me, and she's a blogger with Cerebral Palsy, and I saw her profile and I thought she'd be an awesome guest to interview. So I'm going to let Julia introduce herself, and then we'll get on to the conversation. So take it away, Julia.
Hi, my name is Julia Fieldhammer. I'm a disability advocate as well as a writer, blogger, and artist.
Awesome. For those of you that are listening, my dog decided to eat food right now, so if you hear her munching in the background, I apologize. But so how we're doing this, similar to other interviews that I've had, is I sent Julia questions beforehand, and we're gonna do the interview that style this time. So the first question I sent Julia is, as many of you know who are previous listeners to Spastic Chatter, if you Google cerebral palsy, it usually comes up as a childhood disability. But with that being said, those children grow up to be adults. So I asked Julia, how was her childhood, and do you think it was any different than an average child?
My childhood was good. My parents made sure I had everything I needed and they gave me so much love. Do I think I had a normal childhood? Yes and no. I was in and out of speech, physical, and occupational therapy for a good portion of my childhood, and obviously not every child did that. But on the flip side of that, I had pretty normal school experiences. I went to a normal elementary school and was in class with all typical students. I didn't really feel that different back then. I feel like when you're a kid, you don't really compare yourself to others.
Yeah, I like how you pointed out, because like as children, children don't really see like a difference. Like they might see it initially, but like once they like point it out, like they kind of go about their business. Like, so I'm glad you pointed that out. The next question I asked was, what got you into blogging or writing and being an advocate for the disability community?
When I was little, I liked to make up stories with my dad. They were just little stories we would tell each other for fun. Then, when I was a sophomore in high school, I started a blog kind of just for me and my friends and family. I didn't think much of it. At that point, it was kind of just a let's try this type of thing. Like I said, when I was little, I didn't really feel any different. But all that changed when I got older. I started to notice things that my peers were doing that I couldn't do, and that was really hard for me. There were times I felt so alone, like no one could understand. I also started to see how people looked at disabilities, and I wanted to change that. So I started writing more, taking my blog more seriously, and eventually, with the help of my sister, who is a graphic designer, I rebranded to my Wheeling Around blog and Instagram.
Very cool. I'm kind of similar to you, and I've got a lot of people that in the cerebral palsy community. Or the disability community in general. I kind of used writing as like an outlet to what was going on in my life, because, like you said, um, disability wasn't like in the forefront of like what was going on, because as kids you don't really think about it, and then you get older and then you're like, well, and then it kind of like, I guess like hits you in. I want to say like kind of like slaps you in the face as you get older, cause like you're out in the real world and you're like, oh, I am a little bit. I am a little bit different per se than other able-bodied people. So I completely relate to that. And yeah. So the next question I asked was, what's your favorite topic to write about?
I like to write about a lot of different things, but I think my favorite subject to write about is travel. I love to travel all around with my family, and I like to blog about the adventures we have. My experiences are unique to me, and I want to share them with people so they can learn about what it's like exploring the world with a disability, and that my disability doesn't stop me from living.
Very cool. That's something that I want to do more of this year. Is travel, and because of like the whole COVID situation, I've been kind of like in a bubble. So I want to get out. I want to get out and travel as well. So that's very cool. What you put you want to go? Where do I want to go? Well, me and my fiance really want to go on a cruise because we've never been on a cruise. Have you been on a cruise before? Do you want to go on a cruise? Did you say maybe? Yeah. So we really want to go on a cruise because I like the water, and like he just wants to go on a boat. He likes the all you can eat and the drink package. So yeah. Okay. The next question I asked was, have you ever had someone doubt your capabilities? And if so, how did you handle it?
Yes, I've definitely had people doubt my abilities. I think people see my physical challenges and think I'm not mentally capable, which is really hard for me. People would direct conversations to my mom or whoever was with me instead of taking to me directly. It used to really get under my skin because I didn't know how to handle it. But now I've been working on my communication and my confidence using my speech device. I try to be more assertive and jump into the conversation with my speaker in the conversation. I think people have this perception that if you have a disability that you can't contribute to society in a meaningful way, and that is simply untrue. The disability community as a whole can change that. It's going to take some time, but if enough people share their stories, we can change people's minds. I also think people have to be willing to change their ways. In the past, a person with any type of disability didn't have as much contact with the outside world. As a result of that, most people didn't teach their kids about disabilities, so in today's world, people don't know how to interact with us. I don't know about you, but I hate when people treat me like I'm a baby. It makes me feel like they think I'm less valuable because I have a physical disability, and I don't think that's right of them to assume without getting to know me.
Totally, and I pride this on like being like uncensored and like so I'm just gonna put this out there. You know what assumptions you know what assumptions do. They make an ass out of you and me. So I hate that. Like people like automatically make assumptions that we can't talk for ourselves and like all this stuff. And if you're anything, if and you were talking about getting confidence, like speaking with your communication device. It took me a while to like gain the confidence to kind of like speak up, but now I'm not the kind of, I always say do as I say and not do as I do, because I do tend to get a little bit of an attitude depending on how I'm feeling that day. If someone talks to the person I'm with and not me, I do get a little sarcastic if it is warranted. If they're above a certain age, I don't necessarily feel like it's my job to like educate them. That so I kind of get a little sarcastic when it comes to that. So yeah, I don't know, that's just me and how I am. But yeah, I feel like it's hard because I do want to advocate, but like you said, it's not my job. Yeah, exactly. Like I was like it depends on the situation, but like if you're gonna come up to me, like if you're gonna talk to me like a child and like assume stuff, and then like I've had people like want to come up to me and like ask me like my story and what's wrong, like what's wrong with me, and like if that's the first question that you ask when you meet me, I don't have time. I don't have the time to sit there and tell you my whole life story. Like, and on the flip side, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm perfectly fine. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, that's kind of like my mindset. But it kind of like there's a time and a place. Like, I'm not like that with everyone. Like, I do believe there's a, like, you need to advocate for yourself, but I think people just need to, if they're above a certain age, they just need to gain a little more perspective. And I don't know if any of this makes sense. I kind of just rambling, but yeah. It makes sense. Okay, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next question. What are some of your future goals, Julia?
Some of my future goals include doing more advocating and writing. Maybe someday I'd like to work with companies that have to do with disabilities and help represent them. I also would like to write more fiction as well as my blog. My dream is to write and publish a book series about a girl with cerebral palsy who's just trying to live a normal life. I think the world has come a long way with representation in the media, but there's still work to be done, and I'd like to be a part of that.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's just some really awesome goals, and I like how you want to broaden your writing skills to not only blogging but writing a book. So that's really cool. Okay, yeah, no problem. Well, let me go to the next question. I'm multitasking here. Okay, so what's some advice that you'd give to others who want to start their own blog or start their own writing or what have you?
Just go for it. If you want to write, then write. If you want to start a blog, then start a blog. I do think it takes practice and patience, and it helps if you're writing about something you're passionate about. It can be hard work, but if you work at it, then you can do it.
Awesome. I like how you said that it could be hard work, but you just have to be, if you're passionate about something, you're gonna find that drive to succeed and like get your message across. So I love that.
So what mean you want to start on
What made me want to start a podcast? So I haven't shared this in a while. So if I have new listeners, they're gonna learn something new. So I started Spastic Chatter back when the pandemic first started, and I was working for a disability organization that was primarily focused on spinal cord injuries, and I saw that they had all these resources for spinal cord injuries, and I was like, well, why can't we have something like that that's specific to people with cerebral palsy? So I googled it to see if it had been done already, and like I said at the beginning of this, if you Google cerebral palsy, all the resources are for children. Like there's hardly any resources for adults. So I kind of wanted to be a resource for the community of adults with CP, and I prided on being, like I said, uncensored in the fact that I bring up topics that society kind of doesn't talk about, because I want to make it known that we are just your normal, quote unquote, normal people, like living our life. We're out here doing amazing things, and that there needs to be more advocacy around certain aspects as far as like normalizing disability, because I don't know about you, but I'm disabled and proud. Like there's no hiding my disability, so I might as well embrace it, because I can't make it go away. So like you know what I mean? So that's why I started it.
I'm going I think people are afraid to talk about this.
You think they're afraid to talk about disability? Yeah, I can definitely see that. I think it's because society is like kind of like stigmatized disability as like a bad thing or a negative thing. And then like you have the other side of the spectrum, they don't want to say the word disabled. Like they want to give it a special name so that it's not so like yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, like so I feel like that plays a big factor. And I feel like it's gotten better as we progress as a society, and like there's more representation. So I feel like it's gotten better, like from where it was like even a few years ago. But I think we have a long way to go.
I agree.
Yeah, you agree? All right. So Julia, where can people follow you on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram. My username is wheeling_around_. My blog is wheeling-around.com. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to the place I work called Brother Andre's Cafe. They employ people with disabilities and make some really good coffee and cookies too. Find them on Instagram at Brother Andre's Cafe.
Awesome. I love the shout out. Way to take charge and free promotional. I love that. I know of a community around me that does the same thing. So that's awesome. And I will link all your stuff in the description so people can check you out, and I will link the cafe as well, so they can link it out. They can check it out if they're in the area. Thank you, Julia, for being a guest on Spastic Chatter. I really enjoyed talking with you. And no problem. And if you're watching this and you want to be a guest, feel free to comment wherever you see this video, or if you're watching on YouTube, there's a link in the description. And check back frequently for new episodes. And thanks for watching. Bye.